Vamos agora à apresentação da equipe da Itália. Número 4, Luiz. Número 5, Cicero. Número 6, Cruz. Número 8, Paulo. Número 9, Balsamo. Número 11, Tornatelli. Número 13, Canela. Número 14, Maropa. Número 15, Bial. Número 16, da Silva. Número 17, Frederico. E número 18, Joel. Treinador, Fábio. Vamos agora à equipe da África do Sul. Número 4, Peck. Número 5, Andrew. Número 7, Ezek. Número 8, Oleg. Número 9, Cis. Número 10, Desteco. Número 11, Rukama. Número 12, Pierre. Número 13, Benji. Número 15, Luxu. Treinador, Paulo. Equipe de arbitragem, treinador, Ramete, Combatido e o Christian. Espero que todos tenham posição de respeito para a execução do hino da Itália. Agora todos em posição de respeito para a execução do hino da África do Sul.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Paralympico Sports Hall here in Sao Paulo, Brazil for the 8th installment of the IWBF U23 World Championships. Just a second ago you saw our 3 officials for this upcoming game, South Africa against Italy, which will bring a close to the penultimate day of action here in the group phase. Our 3 officials here today: Shinsuke Nakaido of Japan, Aya Ahmed of Egypt, and Christian Colombati of Argentina. So our Group B encounter between South Africa and Italy. South Africa unfortunate against Japan yesterday. They absolutely battled hard but fell short in the second half against the reigning world champions, taking on Italy, who lost their unbeaten record yesterday at the hands of Great Britain, and looking to rebound here against the African champions, who, despite being 0-3, are fun-loving, enthusiastic, full of energy. You even saw it just before we went onto the air, just big smiles, thumbs up, and everything else in between to our cameraman. They're just having fun here in Sao Paulo. A fantastic learning experience for them, and also business as well for them, as they look to gain some experience. And potentially a few of these players could be even heading to their home tournament, the inaugural 3x3 World Championships, which will take place in South Africa on August the 1st to the 3rd. There you see Italy looking to bounce back after yesterday's loss to Great Britain. They'll be starting with Alessandro Spuels, Luigi Topo, Federico Balsamo, Gabriel da Silva Pelezzani, and Joel Boganelli. For South Africa, Petros Melife, Izile Machola, Sensenempilo Sebisi, Nintendo Nokwama, and Kanya Ondu will be the starting 5s for South Africa. As the tip is up and the ball straight out of bounds. Yeah, South Africa will get their first possession up and running. Nokwama, leading scorer for this South Africa squad. And straight away goes for 3. Only 5 seconds into the shot clock. Here is Ondu. Looks for Nokwama again. 7 to shoot for South Africa. Nokwama banks home a 2. Long 2 for Nintendo Nokwama, who's averaging a shade under 14 points in these under-23 World Championships. Boganelli in all kinds of room, and Boganelli strings a 2. Machola. Nokwama to Machola. Machola, a native of Johannesburg. Nokwama, here is Melife, shot clock at 5. Nokwama at the other side. Here is Machola, and that'll be a shot clock violation, but a whistle has gone. Aya Ahmed, our official from Egypt, blowing the shot clock violation. Italy will get the ball. Here is Gabriel da Silva Pelezzani. Boganelli. 2-2 in the early going here. Balsamo inside, and the finish from Topo is lacking. And Ondu collects it. Here is Kanya Ondu. Nokwama. Nokwama uses the screen from Sebisi. Ondu. And that hits the glass, and away come the Italians. 2 minutes played in the first. Balsamo, Spuels, and Topo under the basket. And Italy head out to a 4-2 lead with 2 minutes and a bit of change played here in the first period. Nokwama putting the moves on Pellizzani. Nokwama thought about the three, does go for the three, and it rims out, and Spuels gets the rebound. Here is Federico Balsamo. Inside to Luigi Topo. Luigi Topo doesn't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound and misses. Spuels goes for the loose ball. Nokwama picks it up. Here comes South Africa with Milife. It's charged down and intercepted by Boganelli. And South Africa look to get their attack going, but Italy get it back. Pellizzani. Pellizzani to the basket. And Italy out to a 6-2 lead with 3 minutes played. And Pellizzani with his first field goal. Here is Machola. Izile Machola. 8 to shoot for South Africa. Machola still has the ball. It's ripped from him by Balsamo. And away come the Italians. And Pellizzani misses his second free attempt, and the finish from Spuels, and a foul. Alessandro Spuels plays his basketball for Canto, plays alongside senior internationals Filippo Calassino, alongside two Dutch internationals Matthijs Bellers and Robin Pogovic. As Bongumenze Biela comes into the game for the first time for South Africa. And Sinciempilo Sabisi comes out. Petros Malife. Nokwama. Nokwama is looking for the shot. A couple of South African players in all kinds of room, and there's one of them. Ondu gets the shot and the foul off the window. Kanya Ondu showing his mid-range game over Boganelli. And just like they did against Japan, South Africa have started brightly in this contest against the European giants. South Africa fear nobody. That's an airball free throw from Ondu, but South Africa fear nobody on the court. They might be fun-loving, energetic, full of praise and always singing in their hearts like they do when they come out onto the floor, but they are all business when they're on the floor. As are the Italians, as Balsamo, the mid-range, is long. It's rebounded and collected by Biela. Screen is coming from Machola, and South Africa get over the timeline. Here is Nokwama. Milife in all kinds of room, and Nokwama decides to pass it out. Here is Milife, and doesn't get the two to fall. Here comes Pellizzani. Pellizzani, Spuels, and Nokwama got his hands on the ball, but also got his hands on Alessandro Spuels, who is leading the Italian charge in these World Championships. Averages 13 points a game, alongside 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Also averages 2 steals as well. There's the Italian number 4. As they're about to start the third quarter. Over on court number 2, Great Britain leading against the United States of America. As Spuels misses the rebound, and on the follow was Luigi Topo. 17-year-old who is aggressive under the basket. We've seen it all tournament long thus far. Nokwama a 3, Nokwama long. Nokwama is not afraid to shoot the 3. In fact, he's taken more 3-pointers than any player in this tournament thus far. Average is around 6 a game. Boganelli from the baseline, no good. It's rebounded by Bongumenze Bayela. And here is Kanya Ondu. And a foul called. Offensive foul is called on Kanya Ondu. Well, I mentioned that South Africa love to come out onto the court singing. And Kanya Ondu loves to write music. A big hip-hop fan, apparently. Dreams of competing in the Paralympics. And this is a glimpse of what you might find in 3 years' time at the Paralympics in Los Angeles, as many of these players competing here in Sao Paulo will be competing in their final under-23 tournament for their country and will move on to the senior ranks. .454 remaining in the first quarter. South Africa have held their ground, but Italy, in a professional start, has to be said, shooting a solid number from the field, at around 46% actually, up 12-4 against South Africa, who are shooting fairly okay 28% to start. 2 of 7 from the floor. The African champions, they beat Libya in the final earlier in the year. Ntendo Nokwama had 18 points, 11 boards and 5 steals in that final. Pelizani, in all kinds of room, decides to give it up to Spwells. Italy zipping it around the perimeter. Pelizani, Spwells, 8 to shoot. Spwells off the glass, doesn't go, and it's rebounded by Ondu. Petros Melife lobs it wide, and it was intended for Nokwama, and instead found Cristiano Uas into the game for Italy. Good steal there from Nokwama, and now Nokwama off to the races. And Nokwama blows the layup. It's rebounded by Ondu. Ondu misses the 2. Ball goes out of bounds. And it came off Italy last, but a good transition play there from South Africa off the steal. Just execution was lacking. Ondu on the ball. 6 to shoot for South Africa. Kanya Ondu throws it up, no good. It was a good look from Kanya Ondu, and away come Italy. Tomaselli into the game, and Nicolo Tomaselli on the ball, heads to the elbow. 3:42 remaining in the first. Spwells in all kinds of space, rattles it in. 10-point lead for Italy. Nokwama. Ntendo Nokwama looking for help. Can shoot the 3. We've seen it before, but that one goes out of bounds. So much confidence in that young man, Ntendo Nokwama. Native of Eastern Cape. Got a taste of the World Championships in Thailand 4 years ago, but only played around 6 minutes on average. More of a starting role and offensive prowess to his game here in Brazil. Pelizani sets himself, doesn't make the 2. And Izile Machola will bring it up. 2:53 remaining in the first. Machola still has it. Nokwama on the wing. Nokwama putting the moves on Spwells. It's 8 to shoot. Ondu off the back iron and rebounded by Pelizani. And a whistle has gone. Pelizani inside. Beautiful layup there from Spwells over 3 South African defenders. And the Azzurri up 16-4 with 2:13 to play here in the first period. As Nkwama can't get it under the hoop, and away come Italy again. Here is Uras, and a whistle has gone, and a foul call. That's a foul on, I believe, Ondu. If that is on Ondu, that'll be 5 teams. That'll be South Africa in the penalty. As Underlay Blua will check in for South Africa. And Petros Milife, nicknamed Mbappe, will come out. I wonder if that's any relation to Kylian Mbappe. As Italy were not aware that they were going to have free throws, as Cristiano Uras, Dinamo Sassari man, will go to the line. 1:53 remaining, Italy up 16-4. A lot of support for the Italians, for the Azzurri, on the IWBF YouTube channel feed. Great to have you all on board. It's great to have a few South Africa fans as well. Of course, South Africa, as said at the top, will be preparing to host the inaugural 3x3 World Championships in Sun City, August 1st to the 3rd. All the information will be available soon on the IWBF website, as well as the social media outlets. Nkwama, 1:43 remaining. Nkwama looking to shoot. Ondu will shoot and won't put that down. And right now, South Africa shooting at around 13% from the field. Only 2 field goals out of 14 attempts. Spwells under the hoop, gets it to go, and a foul. And Italy now having their way inside, and that's where the majority of their points are coming from. 12 of their 20 in the key for Italy, and that's the reason why they have a sizable lead with 1:25 remaining in the first. As Spwells connects on the 3-point play. Brewer. Excuse me, that's Machola. Easy lay Machola with the 2 in and out. And Pelizani will slow it down. Spwells drives along the baseline, misses the floater. Good defense from Nkwama, and here comes Nintendo Nkwama. Bounce pass beautifully done to Brewer. Brewer has to keep it in play and does. And Brewer is now wide open, kicks it out. Ondu from the baseline, 10 to shoot for South Africa. Good passing from the African champions. Patient build-up play. And Izile Machola just grimacing a little bit there and comforted by his teammate Nintendo Nkwama. It's a brotherhood with South Africa. They go everywhere, all of them together. 5 to shoot. Shot is up, no good from Machola. And away comes Spwells, and he'll slow it down and wait for his brothers in arms. Here is Pelizani. Final 20 seconds, or 21.6 to go at the end of the first. And Gabriel da Silva Pelizani will head to the stripe. Plays his basketball for Padova. Only 17 years of age, but a really talented, attacking-minded player, and a very underrated defender as well, especially around the perimeter. Certainly will be one to watch for the future in Italy, and that future is actually very nearby, as Uras, another player who's one to watch for the future, gets it to go on the follow. 24-4, As the seconds tick by for the end of the first period. Final seconds, Palazzani with the steal. And in plenty of space on the buzzer is Nicolo Tomaselli. And that ends the first period. Here is Sao Paulo, and Italy in a commanding position. They lead 26-4. Alessandro Spuels leading the way with 11 points for the Azzurri. Nintendo Nakwama has 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting. Kanya Ondu also has 2 points, but those two players are combined 2 of 13 right now. Isile Machola with the other 3 field goal attempts, and Italy in command in our final game of the penultimate day. Of course, over on court number 2 right now, USA and Great Britain concluding the action on court 2. And near the end of the third period over on court 2, and if you don't want me to tell you the score right now, you might have to mute your TV or your laptop or your desktop, as Great Britain are up 62-37. As Italy come out onto the floor to start the second period, and officials just telling Coach Gumby to just hurry his team talk up so he can get South Africa back onto the floor. Big welcome to everyone on the IWBF YouTube channel. Nearly 700 people watching our 2 games on courts 1 and 2 right now. You're locked into court number 1 with me, John Hobbs. Second quarter action is underway, and Italy up 22 over the African champions South Africa, as Luigi Topo misses the 2 inside. Here comes Bongumenze Biela. Here is Hotsoletsawaru. Lovely pass inside, and Ondu off the window doesn't get it to fall. And away come the Italians. Uras inside, Topo. 3-second violation has been called. Federico Bobato into the game for the first time for Italy to start this second period. Youngest player in this Italy team at just 16 years of age. Saw Rihan dos Reis of Brazil come on earlier on today in their game against Israel at just 14 years of age, as an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. And it's been called on Nintendo Nakwama. So Italy will have 2 shots and they will have possession. And Federico Bobato, the 16-year-old, a chance to open his account in this contest, and he strings the first. Did appear at the European Championships last summer, where Italy came 4th, narrowly losing out to Turkey in the final. In the bronze medal final, excuse me. That kind of counts, doesn't it? Bronze medal final. Bronze medal game, there we go. Only appeared in 4 games, did Bobato. As to the basket, that's too easy for Balsamo. The Santo Stefano man with the basket, and Italy up 30-4. Letsawaru Brua. Nokwama. That's off the back iron. And away come Italy again. Going at their own pace, dictating the pace of this game. And another score for Balsamo. Back-to-back scores for Federico Balsamo. (32-4). Nokwama misses the 2 inside. And we just have a brief break in play as Federico Balsamo and Federico Babato were just tangled up. Timeout called by South Africa coach Gumbi, and Italy out to a 32-4 lead with just around 2 minutes played here in this second quarter. 6-0 start for that team right there, the Azzurri. In our final game of the penultimate day of the group phase, the quarter-final stages begin on Wednesday, all culminating in the final on Friday, as well as the classification positions. Coach Gumbi there just giving some his instruction to his team, the South Africans. Regardless of where they will end up in these World Championships, the experience, the memories that those young guys will have to take back to South Africa will be absolutely priceless, and that's what it means to them. They have had an absolute blast here in Brazil, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these young men, and they will certainly relish these memories forever when this tournament is all wrapped up and they go back to South Africa as Italy get us back underway in the early stages of the second period. Nokwama finds Bond. Excuse me, the whistle has gone as Biela, Bongomenze Biela, was going to get the pass under the hoop. There's Hotso Letsuwaru just directing traffic there as the ball goes out of bounds. Hotsu Letsuwaru says that his biggest inspiration, his hero, is his own mother, which is lovely to hear. Hopefully his mother is watching back home in South Africa. So proud of his boy as he represents his nation here in Sao Paulo. Here is Balsamo. Balsamo inside. Uras doesn't get the 2 to fall. Ball is batted around and it's come down and in the hands of Letsuwaru. Uras really putting pressure on him. Bongomenze Biela lobs it out over the timeline, and now it's a race to see who gets it. And Luigi Topo will collect. 3 minutes play, deflected by Nokwama, but Italy still have it. Cristiano Uras putting the moves on Letsuwaru. Here is Topo, and Topo puts it in. Letsuwaru looking for options. Finds it in Ondu. 7 to shoot for South Africa. Ondu throws it up. Hits the back iron. Big rebound from Bongomenze Biela and agonizingly falls out. Deserved so much more there, did Bongomenze Biela. He knows it, frustrated with himself. Here is Bobato. Topo, beautiful ball movement from Italy, and the finish from Cristiano Uras. Italy's sixth man at the European Championships last summer. Was so reliable off the bench, the young man. As Nintendo Nokwama's pass, intended for Bongumenze Biella, goes straight to an Italy player. 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes now played in the second period. Topo fading away, in and out, gets it a go, it rattled in. South Africa come up with it. Nokwama is fouled. He was off balance. In fact, he wasn't fouled. An offensive foul has been called. Foul called on Bongumenze Biella. And a timeout has been called by Italy coach Fabio Castellucci. 5:14 remaining here in this second period. And a 12-0 start for Italy, and they have accelerated away from South Africa. They lead 38-4 as we enter the halfway point of the second period. Great to have so many of you watching on the IWBF YouTube channel. Few Italy fans apparently all ready to go to Sao Paulo, which is great to hear. It's a fantastic city, and this is a brilliant venue, part of the Rio 2016 Paralympic legacy. Home of so many great Paralympic sports in this wonderful training complex, and home of the Under-23 Wheelchair Basketball World Championships for the second time being held here in Sao Paulo. And we look forward to welcoming you to Sao Paulo when you get here. As we are nearing the halfway point of the second period here in this one on court number one. Italy and Great Britain, USA and Great Britain still playing over on court number two. And an offensive foul called on Italy as Bilal Ojedid into the game for the first time, and his first action is a foul. Nintendo Nokwama going inside. It was a risky pass for Biella. Biella did well to collect and compose himself, but he blows the two. And South Africa is still yet to get off the mark in the second. Here is Bobato. Bobato sets himself, the lefty, and that's off the back iron. And beautifully rebounded by Ondu, and here comes South Africa, who have the numbers. Ondu to the basket, gets it to go, and the first field goal of the second period for South Africa, and Kanya Ondu gets it. Averaged 15 points in the African Championships earlier in the year, and at the other end, and the finish, Cristiano Uras. Let's Sawaru, here is Ondu. Nokwama. And the singing is now starting on the South African bench. Well, it was starting, it just finished. Little bit of dancing as well. These are just a fun-loving group of guys. They're an absolute incredible bunch of people. As Lokanu Dingu comes in for the first time for South Africa. Bongumenze Biella comes out. Italy up 40-6 right now. And missed free throw for South Africa. First time at the line for them here tonight. Alessandro Spuels leads Italy with 11 points. Hasn't come on in this second quarter. And he spent his entire second quarter on the bench. Kanya Ondu currently with 4 points to lead South Africa. And the shot, thought about it and then rolled in from Marco Canella, who is into the game. Plays his basketball in Florence. Here is Ondu, and doesn't get the 2 to fall. 3:22 remaining. And Ntendo Nokwama gets the steal. Here is Nokwama, puts up the shot, puts it in. Great hustle from Ntendo Nokwama, and the finish along the baseline, doing Eastern Cape proud. Uras in acres of space. Uras decides to go to the basket and does to great effect. Cristiano Uras with the 2 inside. Uras has 10 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Great first half from him, and a whistle has gone. And the singing is on the South African bench. As the basket is good from Nokwama, his second field goal. You can't help but be entertained by this incredible group of people. You just can't. Here it is Ujadid. Uras, Italy all business. 44-11 to the good. Ujadid, here is Uras, is wide open, the mid-range, that's money. Cristiano Uras having a fantastic first half. He has 5 of 6 from the field as we enter the final 2 minutes of the first half. Letsawaru puts it up. That's off the back iron and rebounded by Canella. As the Israel players now coming and cheering on the South Africans. This is incredible. And a near steal. Italy will get it back. 5 to shoot. Uras puts it in and silences the South African bench and the Israel players who have come to cheer on the South Africans. And that will go out of bounds. It will stay with South Africa. They're just here to have fun. They're here to be serious as well. There's no doubt about that. They are a hungry group of players. Nokwama off the back iron and rebounded by Uras. Here is Uras again. Final minute of the half. Italy cruising at the moment. As Alessandro Cioccio into the game as well for Italy for the first time. And the miss there from Canella. Lefty is Bobato, and he puts it in. That's his second field goal. He's now shooting 2 of 2 from the floor. Letsawaru driving to the basket, decides to come out. As he was looking for Ondu, and that was deflected out of bounds by Marco Canella. 50-11, 21.9 to go in the half. 11 to shoot for South Africa. Nokwama with 6 to shoot. Doesn't get it to fall. Uras the rebound, and now Italy in transition. Letsawaru is fighting hard to get it, but the basket is good from Ujadid. That's his first field goal. Great moment for that man. And that'll do it for the first half. Italy cruising as Cristiano Juras, the young man playing for Dinamo Sassari, doing the business for the Azzurri. He leads all scorers with 14. Alessandro Spuels with 11 points, all in the first quarter. Nintendo Nokwama leads the way for South Africa with 7, but Italy at the summit, and they lead 52-11 here at halftime on court number 1. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back in around 12 minutes time. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Paralympico Sports Complex here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It is the 8th annual Under-23 IWBF World Championships. There is the backdrop of the wonderful training complex here. And right now, Italy are in the ascendancy. They lead South Africa 52-11. Hello everyone, John Hobbs on hand to bring you the action for the final two quarters of the penultimate day of group action. There you see the Azzurri all business. A very professional performance by them, led by Cristiano Juras right now, who has 14 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Nintendo Nokwama leads the way for South Africa with 7 points and 4 rebounds. As the game now over on court number 2, and Great Britain ending their Group Odyssey unbeaten, 5-0, as they head to the quarter-final stage, which takes place on Wednesday. Of course, lots to still be decided as we head to the final day of action tomorrow. As we get set to start the third quarter. Big welcome to everyone watching on the IWBF YouTube channel, whether you're over in South Africa or in Italy or anywhere else across the world. It's fantastic to have you all on board. Lots of Italy fans getting their comments on the feed, as well as some South Africans as well. Great to have you all on board as South Africa get us underway at the start of the third, as Izile Machola has the ball. Ondu, catch and shoot, rattles it in. First shot, first score of the third for Kanya Ondu. Balsamo. Spoels almost spun away from Bongo Menze Biella. Here is Canella, misses the two. And towards the end of the second period, the players from Israel were nearing the South African bench and supporting the South Africans and cheering them on, which was really wholehearted to see. It was really lovely to see. Here is Gujadid, here is Balsamo. Balsamo sizing it up, 6 to shoot for Italy, and Spoels under the basket. That was a high degree of difficulty for Alessandro Spoels. And he got it to go, and a foul called, and Lakanu Dengu, I think, inadvertently took one to the face. Offensive foul was called on Kanya Ondu. That'll be his third foul. Dengu will shake it off as Nintendo Nokwama comes in. And Biella comes out. Spoels, that's asking a lot of the number 13 Canella, but it still hits an Italian player, and Chicho got the offensive board, but a whistle has gone and South Africa will get the ball. Italy have only scored 11 second chance points in this contest, as the shot is no good from Ondu. Here is Canella. Canella to Spoels. And Spoels gets it to go, and a great read of the play as well from Alessio Checho. Machola. Nakwama straight away thinks about the shot, looking for more room. He travelled with it. Swells has to reach up and get that. 2 minutes played in the third. Swells to the cup, puts it up, puts it in. Alessandro Swells for Italy. He moves on to 15, 6 of 7, 6 of 8 from the field. Ondu, Nakwama. Back to Ondu, the give and go, but it was anticipated by Swells, and now it's 3-on-2. South Africa do track back. Balsamo. Swells. Here is Ujadid, and it's taken away, or not taken away, as Hotso Letsawawu thought he got the steal, but he also got the player as well. Balsamo puts up a mid-range, that's in and out, and it's rebounded by Izile Machola, and away comes Ntando Nokwana, and he hits the deck. Foul called. And I think an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. It has on Federico Balsamo. So South Africa will head to the stripe. And South Africa will get possession. A bit of a choke there. Bit of banter from Nakwama and Bilal Ujadid. Nakwama strings the first. Really talented player, Ntando Nakwama. Very raw still, but still extremely talented. Misses the second. And one of the comments on the YouTube feed saying that South Africa, win or lose, have already won the hearts of their fans. They've won the hearts of everybody here in Sao Paulo. I'll tell you that right now for a fact. 6 to shoot. Here is Dengu. Dengu puts it in. Lakanu Dengu from the baseline. Balsamo. Swells sizing it up. Balsamo cuts to the basket and camped out in the lane a bit long as well. 3-second violation on Federico Balsamo. The man who plays for Santos Stefano, excuse me, in the Champions Cup. Here is Machola. There's Dengu has it. No hesitation, a 2 is up from Nakwama, and Nakwama misses it. South Africa shooting around 20% from the fall. Nakwama now 3 of 14 from the field. Ujadid looking for Swells, finds him. Putting the moves on Nakwama. Nakwama gets a hand in the way. Machola, let's let Sawawu look to keep it in bounds, but Italy will retain it with 4 on the shot clock. 58-16 in favour of Italy, but it's been a very competitive third period thus far as Swells strings a midi. Here is Ondu. Ondu passes it out, the 2 is up, and it's no good from Izile Machola. And here come Italy, and Ujadid will wait for his brothers in arms. And Balsamo comes out. 8 to shoot for Italy. Ujadid along the baseline gets the friendly roll. 60 to 60 or 62 to 16 in favor of the Azzurri. Letsoawu nearly lost the ball, still keeps his dribble alive. Now he's running into a bit of trouble. Nkwama comes to help him out in acres of space. Machola with the spin, misses the two, gets his own rebound and banks it home. Great hustle from Izile Machola, one of the South African players who started 4 of their 7 in the African Championships. Averaged around 20 minutes a game, did Izile Machola. And a player that can adapt to any situation and certainly can adjust his role within this South African team. And we've seen it here compared to the African Championships where he was alternating between starting and going off the bench. He's becoming more of an offensive threat and a person who, runs the offense extremely well for this South African team. And for Italy, they are in the ascendancy right now, 62-18 to the good. And right now, the Azzurri have been fairly comfortable. They've made a little bit of a meal of it, bit of hard work in this third quarter, but only for periods. They've shot 61% from the field. Only 8 fast break points, which is surprising considering their overwhelming depth and speed. They've preferred to play in the half court and been a bit more methodical with their offense. But either way you look at it, they're getting the job done at the moment, up big on the African champions. And Pellizzari back into the game and on the ball for the Azzurri. Here is Balsamo. Wide it goes to Bobato. Bobato off the window, doesn't get it to fall. And a whistle has gone. Balsamo. Ball is loose and picked up by Dengu. And now it's a race, and Letsoawu letting it rip. Just about keeps it in. Brilliant play from Letsoawu. Here is Machola, and South Africa will reset. Nkwama. Dengu puts it up, and that deserved to finish, but Italy come away with it. Here is Pellizzari. Pellizzari now directing traffic for the Azzurri. Beautiful cut to the basket along the back door there from Luigi Topo, but couldn't hang on to the pass. As we enter the penultimate day here in group action at these World Championships. Coming up next for South Africa, they have a crunch match against Thailand. And as the shot goes in from Bobato, Italy will wrap up their Group B adventures with a game against the world champions, Japan. Both those games taking place tomorrow. Letsoawu. 3:30 to play in the third period. Here is Machola. Machola thinking about it. Thought about the shot, instead decided to give it up to Ondu, but instead it goes to Nicolo Tomeseli. And here in transition, and 10 points on the fast break. And 2 of them there from Pellizzari. Man who averages just under 12 points a game in these World Championships for Italy. Nkwama has the ball. Only Pellizzari's second field goal of this contest. Dengu with a bullet pass, and a foul has been called. Foul has been called on Balsamo. First foul on Balsamo. And the turnover, and now it leads to a fast break. Great hustle from Nokwama, and a foul though for Italy as Federico Balsamo goes to the cup, puts it in. It was good tracking back from Nokwama, but just a little too enthusiastic. He's not happy with the call. And that'll be Nintendo Nokwama's 4th foul, so foul trouble for South Africa's danger man. As Balsamo in and out with his free throw. Topo with the offensive board. He puts it in at the second attempt. Nokwama gets over the timeline. Has to be careful though. He's on 4 fouls now. Still has the ball. Gives it up to... Well, he gets the shot off as Nokwama off the feed from Letsuawu. And away come Italy with Pellizzani. Here is another score for Italy. Federico Balsamo this time getting in on the action again. Balsamo, 8 points, 4 of 6 from the field. Shot is up there from Isile Machola, but no good. Balsamo to the basket. Good defense there from Nokwama, even though he's on 4 fouls. Leaving it out all onto the floor, giving everything he has. Balsamo. Shot is up. Shot is no good from Tomaselli. Ball is loose and picked up by Letsuawu, and here comes Hotso Letsuawu. And an 8-second violation called on South Africa. Turnover number 18 in this contest for South Africa. 1:19 remaining in the third, and Italy putting in a professional showcase here. No thrills, just getting on with it. Playing hard-nosed basketball. And the shot is good from Federico Bobato. Bobato now moves on to 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting. And 3 is up and no good by Nokwama. Letsuawu gets the loose ball. Ondu fading away. Ondu off the back iron. And away come the Italians. Tomaselli assessing what's before him. Last 30 seconds of the third. Luigi Topo, all the time in the world, but he blows the 6-footer. Ondu comes up with the board, and away comes South Africa. And Isile Machola is wide open, but couldn't hang on to the pass given to him by Hotso Letsuawu. Final seconds of the third. Tomaselli is long with his 2. It's rebounded and put in by Topo. 4 offensive rebounds for Luigi Topo. That'll do it for the third quarter, and he is flirting with a double-double. 12 points, 8 boards, as said, 4 of them on the offensive side. Italy up 76-18. And looking well on their way to bouncing back after defeat to Great Britain yesterday. And South Africa looking set to remain without a win after 4 games. They will play Thailand tomorrow. A great opportunity for them against Thailand, and equally the same for the Asian side against the African champions. Alessandro Spuels leads the way for Italy with 19 points. Cristiano Juras, 6 of 7 from the field for his 14. Luigi Topo, as said, close to a double-double. He has 12 points, 8 boards. There he is in your picture, the number 8 of Italy, alongside Federico Balsamo. As we get ready to start the fourth and final period here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. 8th annual IWBF Under-23 World Championships. First World Championships held in Toronto, Canada back in 1997. Canada were the first winners of this competition. They have won 2 gold medals, as have the United States of America. Japan, the reigning world champions, defeating Turkey in the final, 52-47 in Phuket. As mentioned earlier, this is the second time that Brazil have hosted the event. They previously hosted it in 2001. Canada won the gold here in Brazil back in 2001. Brazil won silver. USA won the bronze. USA losing today to Great Britain. As we get set to start the fourth and final quarter, as Joel Boganelli back into the game, the number 18. Here is Spuels. Here is Boganelli. Boganelli setting himself. Good defense here from Biella. And a 3-second violation has been called on Cristiano Uras. Italy's 7th turnover in this contest. Here is Macciola. Dengu. Bullet pass inside, and a foul has been called. And the roar from the South African bench as Bongumenze Biella is fouled, and he will go to the foul line. The player who averaged a double-double at the African Championships, Bongumenze Biella, 13 points, 12 rebounds. Role model in the sport, the recently retired Pat Anderson of Canada. Of course, Patrick Anderson, well known across the world, one of the most recognized wheelchair basketball players, and mainly considered by many as the greatest of all time. As Italy will get the ball back early doors here in the fourth period. And here come Italy. Spuels with it. Finds Uras. Uras looking for help. And the shot is up, and it's no good from Marotta. Bongumenze Biella, and that's wasn't a great pass, but a whistle has gone. And the foul called on Joel Boganelli, who's all smiles. Second foul for Boganelli, a regular in the Italian senior ranks. Macciola, 7 to shoot for South Africa. Bongumenze Biella passes it off. Ondu off the glass, doesn't get it to fall. And a whistle has gone. And a first foul of the game on Bongumenze Biella. Spuels, Uras at the wing. Early doors in the fourth. Spuels keeps going and scores. Great give and go there. Bit of a delayed give and go from Uras and Spuels, but Spuels gets the score. He now moves on to 21, 9 of 11 from the floor. And the turnover, Spuels with his second steal of the contest. Catch him if you can, all the way, blows the layup. Ball is loose and it's collected by Cincimpilo Sabisi. Ondu thinks he was fouled. The ball is loose. It's going to go the way of Italy. And a timeout has been called by Coach Gumbi of South Africa. 2 minutes play, well, 1 minute and 59 seconds if you really have to be precise in the fourth. Italy leading 78-18 over South Africa here in our final game of the penultimate phase of the group play. Great to have you all on board here on the IWBF YouTube channel. There is Court 1 here at the Paralympico Sports Complex here in lovely Sao Paulo, Brazil. An absolutely fantastic event so far as we get set for the knockout phases. Spwells, Juras, back to Spwells, wasn't expecting that. Boganelli surveying the floor. Here is Spwells, a lot of time on the shot clock, great movement by Juras who misses the two. South African players all over him, he gets it to go in a foul. Cristiano Juras with the two inside, under so much pressure. Particularly from Izile Machola. The foul is going to be on Bongumenze Biela. And another timeout called by South Africa. 80-18. Cristiano Juras shaking his head as if to say, why call the timeout? I'm not a coach. It's up to the coach of South Africa if he wants to call the timeout. And the Italians all smiles as Fabio Castellucci just having a quick word with his team. Over 2 minutes played in this final quarter. As we get set for the final day of action here tomorrow, and Italy will be on the court first here on court number 1. They will take on Japan to end their group, and South Africa will also be the first, but on court number 2. As they take on Thailand. Israel take on Australia. Brazil will face Turkey. And the group phase will end with a game with Canada and Germany. That is your play day for tomorrow. 81-18 to Italy. Ondu off balance, finds Dengu. Dengu putting the moves on Boganelli. Here is Machola. Shot clock is winding down. Italy get the ball. Spwells with a bit of room service and the score. 83-18. Sibisi. Ondu, here is Biela, and a foul has been called. Bongumenze Biela on the floor. And group substitutions coming in for South Africa. There's Letsuawu, Nokwama. And for the first time today, Lusanda Makweli a native of Durban, coming into the game. Cites his heroes as Michael Jordan and Anthony Davis. Started playing basketball back home at the Buffaloes Wheelchair Basketball Club in his native Durban. Nokwama puts up a three, and Uras comes up with the rebound. Uras has a bit of space, decides to pass it to Boganelli. Swells, good defense from Nokwama. And inside, and will that count? No, it won't. Marco Canella. And a first foul on Cinciempilo Sabisi, Kuala Nazu native. Swells puts up a three and laces one. First three for Alessandro Swells, 86-18. Nearly 4 minutes played. And a whistle has gone. It's an offensive foul on Letsuawu. Cristiano Luras. Swells. Beautiful movement from Uras, never stopping, continuing to move to the hoop. And it accidentally hit his head on the way down. And Nintendo Nokwama looking at the referees saying that should be a technical foul. He has a smile on his face. A little bit of back chat there between Uras and Nokwama, but they're both all smiles. Sabisi, Nokwama. Nokwama, 9 to shoot for South Africa. Dengu gets hit right in the face with the ball as Nokwama was going for the pass. It's 3-on-1. And Nokwama holds his ground. A foul has been called. Nintendo Nokwama, no fear. And Dengu is clearly shaken by that pass that smacked him on the face. And Izile Machola coming back into the game. And Nintendo Nokwama, his day is done. He's fouled out. Nokwama, 3 of 17 from the floor, 8 points, 4 rebounds. And quickly apologising to his teammate Lucanu Dengu, who's still shaken up by that ball to the face. As Italy go to the line, 5:25 remaining. And Italy looking set for victory here. Swells on the follow. 12 offensive rebounds for Italy in this contest, shooting at 60% from the floor. Here is Machola. Machola looking for help, looking for options. Letsuawu goes for the screen, now gets it back. 5 to shoot. Swells all over him like a rash. Puts up the shot, gets it off, but can't get it to fall. Cristiano Uras gets the rebound. Bilal Hajadid will check in momentarily for Italy. Italy have the numbers, and that'll count. As Marco Canella gets the score, and that's his second field goal. And substitutions coming in for Italy, Alessandro Spuels and Boganelli, alongside Francesco Marotta, will come out. And Ujadid Chicho coming in. The other player into the game, Tomaselli. Here is Macciola. 4:22 remaining. And Italy on course as Macciola misses the mid-range. And Italy will look to push and will want to get their 100 up here in this one. Here is Hajadid. Passes it inside. It's off the window. Agonizingly falls out. Away comes South Africa. Macciola will not get that. South Africa, turnover number 24 in this one. Cries of defense from the South African bench. Uras. Ojadid. Uras, 9 to shoot. Puts up a long 2 and strings one. Here comes South Africa. Sibisi. Lovely pass to Biela. Sibisi gets it back, puts it up, and he rattles it in. First field goal for Sinsiempilo Sibisi. 3 minutes to go here in this one. Ujadid. Inside, beautiful, crisp passing from the Azzurri, but the finish is lacking from Tomaselli. And away comes Biela. South Africa with a bit of urgency in their attack. Letsawawu. 6 to shoot for South Africa. A bullet pass, and a whistle has gone. And the referee's just double checking. South Africa are in the penalty. And it will be 2 shots for Italy. In fairness, both South Africa and Italy were not aware that the South Africans were in the penalty. To be honest, neither was I, actually. There's the miss there on the first free throw attempt by Cristiano Uras. Cristiano Uras having a great game in this one. Has a double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds on that last possession. So his double-double secured. And an 8-second violation on South Africa with 2:20 remaining. And Italy gunning for 3 digits here. They're on 94, 6 more points to the magic 100. Ujadid, inside it goes, Uras with the 2. Final 2 minutes, the South African players are dancing, they are singing. Italy, all business as they will come up with the win here today. Italy will improve to 3-1. They will play Japan tomorrow. And South Africa will drop to 0-4, and they will play Thailand tomorrow on court number 2. Great Britain and Turkey are the only 2 teams to reach 100 points. Italy would like to join them here, but not with a pass like that from Bilal Ujadid. That'll go out of bounds, 1:34 remaining. Here is Machola. Machola surveying the options. The ball is batted out of bounds, like swatted out of bounds. And right into the arms of Great Britain coach Adi Origbemi, who is watching on. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Shot is up from Sabisi, no good. As we wind down this contest, and for a period in the first quarter, South Africa were threatening. There was a period as well in the second period, but throughout, Italy have remained professional, focused at the task at hand, and they will get the victory to improve to 3-1 here in Sao Paulo at the World Championships. South Africa remain without a win right now, but they will have their chances to scoop a first victory as the final minute ticks down, and a travelling or a 3-second violation is called. And it garners probably the biggest cheer from the South African bench. Well, if they celebrate a turnover, how are they going to celebrate a field goal in the last minute here? The roof off this place will come unglued if that's the case. Machola. Machola can't reach it, and the ball will go out of bounds, and Italy will collect. Bilal Ujadid, native of Milan, passes it out, beautifully finished from Tomaselli. Well, 35 seconds left for Italy to get their 100 and become the 3rd team to reach 100 in these World Championships. And they get the turnover. No, they don't. South Africa reclaim it. Italy will get it, and a foul is called as Izile Machola commits the foul. 19.4 to go in this one. The shot clock will be turned off. Nicolo Tomaselli, another of Italy's main players that come off the bench, does a lot of the intangibles that you don't see come up on the stat sheet, but he misses the first, and South Africa break out into song. Shot is up, shot is good. Italy are on the 100-point mark. Cristiano Uras with the 2. Lekanu Dengu will come into the game for South Africa. Bongo Menze Biela fouls out. I hope you can hear this. The South African players singing, dancing on the bench. There they are. Final seconds of this game. Will South Africa get a final offense here? Letsuaru puts it up. Can't get it to fall. That'll go out of bounds. 1/10 of a second remain, as Italy will get the victory here today. Alessandro Spuels with 28 points, 5 rebounds, doing the damage. Cristiano Jura shooting 84% from the field for his double-double of 25 points and 12 boards, as Italy come away 101-20 victors over South Africa, who are led by Nintendo Nokwama's 8 points. And that does it for our penultimate day of action here on the group phase of the Under-23 World Championships. And we will see you back here tomorrow for the final day of group action. Plenty more still to come. But for now, I'm John Hobbs. Have a pleasant evening, a pleasant morning, and a pleasant day wherever you are across the world. Take care and goodbye for now.